2,500 slots. That is the number of scholarships that are awarded annually under the particular scholarship that we are going to be talking about today, with about 40 to 50 slots allocated for international students. So let's get right into it. Benefits of this scholarship are you are going to be given 830 euros per month for undergraduate and master students. You are going to have 850 euros per month if you are a PhD student. The scholarship covers health insurance. It gives you family allowance, and you do not pay any of this back. This scholarship is for bachelors, masters, and PhD students. And also, under the scholarship, you can get to study whatever major that you want. So all of it is included. And this is for scholarship for students from Africa, Asia, Latin America, and Eastern Europe. And it is one of those scholarships that you actually can apply for them after you have gotten your admission letter. So you apply to the university, you get your admission letter, and then you can apply to the scholarship. And to crown it all, this is one of those scholarships that you can get to move abroad with your family. So if you're one of those people who is thinking about, yes, I want to move abroad, but I have a family, you can bring your family along. And it is not just bring your family along. This scholarship actually gives you allowance for you to be able to take care of your family members. Mind blown. So before we get into it, hello. My name is Sylvie and I am a 4-time scholarship grantee, and I am here to teach you how to go get your own scholarship. And I have several ways through which I teach you. Number one, I teach you on LinkedIn and on X. If you do not follow me on LinkedIn and on X, go ahead and follow me there. The second way that I teach you is here on YouTube. So if you've not subscribed to this channel, go ahead, hit the subscribe, turn the notifications on, because trust me, every video that I drop, you are going to be learning something new. I'm going to be bringing amazing opportunities like the one we are going to talk about today. So do well to subscribe and turn the notifications on. Also, I have 3 boot camps that I am currently running. Number one, if you are a brand new person to the world of scholarships, you're like, oh my goodness, I do not know what I'm doing. I have not submitted my first application. I want to, but I don't know what to do. Sign up for that Scholarship Starter Bootcamp. I am going to train you how to win scholarships, not just to apply, but how to win scholarships. And then the second way that I teach you is through the how to be an ideal candidate bootcamp. This is actually a bootcamp for those that have gotten tons of rejection letters. I got rejection letters for 5 years, and then after that, I got acceptance letters for 8 years. So I have gone through my share of rejections and my share of acceptance, and I'm going to teach you the secret formula that you need in order to turn those rejections to acceptance. Sign up for that bootcamp, and I'm going to teach you. And also, next 2026, this is the Japanese government scholarship. I have a bootcamp for that. That was my first fully funded scholarship. I've helped so many students get that scholarship. So do well to sign up for any of these boot camps. Also, I have a database, a weekly updated database that has scholarships. It has graduate assistantships, no application fee, university tuition fee of universities. It has links to sample CVs, statement of purposes, research proposals. It's like a one-stop shop for everything that you need in your entire scholarship process. So everything, the links to all of this are going to be in the description box. Click, get access to these resources because they are going to ease your entire scholarship experience. It really does not have to be that difficult. It really doesn't have to be that overwhelming. Click these resources and they are going to help you. All right, so now let us get into it. The scholarship that I'm talking about, as you can see on the screen, is the Friedrich Ebert Stiftung Scholarship. It's a German word, do not come for me. So this is the information about the scholarship. The scholarship program of the Friedrich Ebert Stiftung, the promotion of young talent, has been the founding principles for FES. The first scholarships were awarded particularly to talented individuals from a working class milieu who were taking an active part in young democracy of Weimar Republic. So this is the details about the scholarship. If you click on it here, you can get to read a lot more information. So you see here it says we are providing funding for all fields of studies, first degrees, bachelor's exams, master's programs, doctoral programs, who is eligible, the benefits of it, and then what it does not support, the time to apply, the procedure. I'm going to actually tell you all the details about this particular scholarship, and I'm going to divide the video into several sections. Number one, we are going to talk about productivity, like how you should think about the scholarship, how to apply for it. I will share with you some tips on how you can use ChatGPT to make your application for this scholarship extremely smooth and faster, to brainstorm very well. Then I'm going to talk to you about immigration procedures like migrations and visas. After you apply for the scholarship and you get it, what are the things that you should be thinking about in terms of moving to Germany, like migration procedures and all of those things? We are going to cover that. And then I'm going to talk to you about when you get to Germany, what are the budgeting tips? How should you manage your money? And I'm also going to talk to you about when you have finished your studies, what should you do in terms of career-wise? The reason why I want to give you all of this, I really want, henceforth, I want the videos to be, I should be able to take you from you finding out about the scholarship, applying to the scholarship, migrating to that country, and then what would you do after graduation? And the reason why I'm doing this is because recently, I have found myself in a situation where I feel like I did not get enough orientation. Yes, I got a scholarship. Yes, I got so many other scholarships, but I feel like I did not get enough orientation on how to make the best out of life abroad. So I want to prepare you all such that when you move abroad, your study abroad experience should be way better than mine. So let us get right into it. Okay, so let us start with the first one, which is going to be productivity tips on how you should think about applying for this scholarship and not get overwhelmed in the entire process. Number one, use a dedicated folder. Go to your laptop, pull out a particular folder, title it FES application, the Friedrich Ebert Stiftung scholarship. Name it that way, and then list together like all of the application documents that you need, your transcripts, your certificates, your language proof. Put all of those things in there, because when you arrange all your documents and you're applying for a scholarship in a specific folder, it really helps you not get lost throughout the entire process. The second thing that you should do is create an application checklist. Normally when students are applying for scholarships, one of the things that like you're rushing towards the deadline, there are so many things that you have to do. You're trying to make sure A is good, B is good, and then when it's time to submit your application, you realize that you do not even have all of the documents because you did not prepare all the documents. So what you should do is prepare a checklist, and then you're going to have like your admission letter that you have gotten from the university, because remember, this is a scholarship that you have to apply for after getting admission to a university. And then you prepare like your CV, your motivation letter, your academic transcripts, and then the letters of recommendations and all of the documents that they will ask you in order to apply for the scholarship. Prepare a checklist, write it all down, and when you get one thing, you check it. You get one thing, you check it to make sure that you can manage the process and do not feel overwhelmed by the entire application process. And also, what should you do? Set a daily target working towards the scholarship. One of the things that I forgot to tell you all about this scholarship is that this scholarship does not have a deadline. The main thing is that it is on a rolling basis, but you have to apply at least 6 months earlier. So set like a timeline, a daily timeline of things that you want to do, like milestones that you want to achieve. Like by the end of the day, let me be able to, let's say, draft my CV. In 2 weeks time, let me be able to finish my motivation letter. In 2 weeks time, or in 3 weeks time, or maybe start with, I want to ask for my recommendation letters like in the first week, because I always say that it's always good to start with recommendation letters, because it is that part of the application that it is not up to you. You have to talk to other people to write these recommendations. So you are working on their schedule practically. So you have to talk to them, and then they will work with their schedule to see how they can meet your need. So it is important that you start with that at first. Get step one, ask for those recommendation letters. With, let's say, in the next 1 week you do that. Then the next 1 week, I'll use this week to finish my CV. The next 1 week, I'm going to use it to finish my motivation letter, and plan it out step by step like that, such that you do not feel overwhelmed in the entire application process. The third thing that I want you to do is use ChatGPT to brainstorm. Remember, keyword brainstorm. Do not go and tell ChatGPT to come up with your CV for you or to write your motivation letter for you. Do not do that. What you should rather do is use ChatGPT to sort of brainstorm the ideas that you want in terms of like your CV. For example, how do you can ask questions about writing your motivation letter. For example, you can say, the prompts that you can give for your motivation letter, you can say, help me write a motivation letter for the Friedrich Ebert Stiftung Scholarship. I'm applying as a master's student in the field of geology at the University of Bonn, and I'm an active person who volunteers in my community. Help me draft a motivation letter. So that is the prompts that you can give it, and then it is going to give you back ideas on what to do. Do not copy. Just take those ideas and then make them yours and rewrite it. Also, if you're preparing your CV, what you can do is ask ChatGPT like, okay, ChatGPT, rewrite my CV and put like bullet points to highlight like my leadership, my activism, my academic excellence, because I am applying for a scholarship. I'm applying for the Friedrich Ebert Stiftung Scholarship. So those are the things that you can do in order to, like, you can tell ChatGPT to give you that information. And then if there are some translations that are required, you can also use ChatGPT to help you translate to German, especially if your German language is still like mediocre, you have not yet studied the German language, then do that. Use ChatGPT to help you make your application better, but do not fall for the trick of maybe letting ChatGPT do your application for you. You're going to be disqualified, because as you all know, as AI has improved, just as much as we now use AI for so many things, there is now AI to detect AI, especially in education. If you write your CV, you write your motivation letter and you use AI, there is AI to detect that you have used AI. That's why I'm insisting on use it to brainstorm, but do not use it in order to do your entire application, because you're going to be shoved entirely to the side and you're going to be rejected. You can actually also use it to you can give a prompt like, what are some common interview questions that they usually ask for the Friedrich Ebert Stiftung Scholarship, and then it will give you ideas and you can use that to prepare for your interview. Okay, so this is how you can use ChatGPT, stay organized in the entire application process. If you are going to be doing a recommendation letters, you can actually also use ChatGPT to be like, let me tell you like a prompt. You can say, help me write a polite email requesting a recommendation letter for the Friedrich Ebert Stiftung Scholarship that I am applying for. It's going to give you an idea. It's going to write something for you. You can take that, work it out, and then also take it to your supervisor. Your supervisor can also work it out, edit it, take some things out, but at least it will give you a first draft to work with. All right, moving on, we are going to talk about migration and visas. So the first thing, you have found the scholarship, you have applied for the scholarship. Now let's talk about how you are going to move to Germany. So the first thing that you have to know is, number one, before you can apply for any German visas or whatever, you need to be admitted to the university. That's step one. Get your admission into a German university. Step two, apply for this particular scholarship. And then you now move on to applying for the national student visa. So you have to apply for the visa to Germany. And one of the things that students have always complained about is how hard it can be sometimes to get like dates at German embassies. So you really have to be patient with this and start as soon as possible, okay? And then the documents that are required, you will have to show like your university admission letter, because that is where you start with. And most times when it comes to studying in Germany, students always get like a lot frustrated with the block accounts thing. And the benefit of this scholarship is that you can actually show your document proving that you have gotten the scholarship, and you will not have to do the block accounts. We have to dance a little bit for that. We have to dance a little bit for that, because so many students get frustrated with this blocked account issue, right? I cannot name how many complaints I have gotten like, oh, Dr. Watikum, I want to apply, but this blocked account thing though, this blocked account thing, what are we going to do about it? So you can do that. Then now you have like your VAT, you need a passport because how will you travel abroad without a passport? And if you have studied German, it's actually good to take some German program, like German language programs back home. And then your motivation letter and your academic CV. And then let's talk about when you get to Germany. Normally, when you get to Germany, you will have to apply for a residence permit. No matter whatever country that you go to, you have to apply for a residence permit, right? And then the good thing about this scholarship is that they actually help you in doing some kind of because you're going to Germany and you have not been to Germany before, you're not a German citizen. This scholarship actually helps you in terms of navigating like the local bureaucracy of the things that you have to do. They help you understand things about your visa. They help you find accommodation, and they practically help you integrate in the German society, which I think is amazing. I'm like, oh my God, how nice is that? Okay. I think that's amazing. Moving along, let us talk about budgeting and managing your money while you are in Germany. First of all, you are a scholarship student, which means that you have some basic income. Like you're not lacking for like the basics of life. So you have that money. And then the other thing that you have to remember is pay attention to your monthly income. How much are you getting from the scholarship and how are you going to be spending that money? Probably the things that are covered, your health insurance is covered. You are going to, if you have a family, you're going to get some extra allowance for the sake of your family. You are not paying tuition fees, which means that in terms of managing your money, like the basics are covered. But now you have to think about the cost of living in Germany. I did some research and I found some things. So it says that rent, like for a shared flat or like a dormitory is like 250 to 500 euros. Interesting. And then food, you're going to be spending about 150 euros to 250 euros per month. Health insurance is covered. Transportation, you are going to be spending like 30 euros to 50 euros. And then, of course, the other things are like internet, phone, miscellaneous, and those are the type of things that you will spend your money on. So the total estimate is that you are going to be spending about 700 euro to 1,000 euros every month, like give and take. But of course, it depends on how you manage your money, how good are you with money. So let us talk about some budgeting tips for international students. Number one, cook at home. Cook at home, you guys. I do not know how much I can insist about this. Cooking at home has saved me so much. Eating out is so expensive when you are living as an international student. And then the second thing is, do not go and rent an apartment. Stay in the dormitory. When I was a student, how much people who stayed in the dormitory were paying was like half what those who were staying in apartments were paying. So stay in the dormitory. Do not stay in an apartment, okay? And then when you are going to be buying like things like books and whatever, go on. There are days that universities have like book fairs where they auction books from the universities. Those are the times that you should be buying your academic supplies. Do not go in off season, because if you go in off season, you are going to spend a lot of money. And then also there are so many benefits that come that you can get just showing your student ID card. So carry your student ID card with you. Find out what are the benefits that are available to you with your student ID card, and always use your student ID card for whatever discounts that you can get. Okay. So I hope that this budgeting tips helps you as you move to Germany and as you live there. Normally, when you go in those first months, you're extremely excited. Do not spend a lot in those first months. You can do a little bit of here and there, but do not spend a lot. So now let us talk about, you have gone through your entire study. Like, what are the things that you should be doing while you are studying, thinking about your career and what you are going to be doing when you are done with your studies? Listen, I am someone who has gone through my studies, graduated 2 years ago, lost my job now, and remembering that, oh my goodness, I did not plan very well. So that is why I'm teaching you all these things so you don't make the mistakes that I made. So let's talk about career planning as an international student who has gotten a scholarship. So because it's Germany, I did some research about the skills gaps in Germany. So Germany has skills gaps in terms of IT and computer science, engineering, renewable energy, healthcare and public health, social sciences and public policy, data science and AI. These are the fields that are sort of hot and they need talent, which means that if you study anything related to any of these fields, you have a better chance of getting some kind of a good job or whatever. But just think about it. I'm not saying like, oh, change your entire life plan because these are the hot fields, but I'm just telling you those such that you know it, keep it at the back of your head, then you can do with it whatever you please, right? And then let's talk about the things that you should be doing right now while you are in school. Number one, join several networking groups. Network as much as possible because sometimes you get to realize that in the world of jobs, it is not what you know, but it is who you know. So network as much as possible. Also, learn the German language. If you are living abroad, one of the things that will serve you so much is if you are able to speak the language of the country that you live in. If there are 1,000 opportunities and because you speak the language, or if you do not speak the language, you may have access to 100. But if you speak the language, you are going to have access to all the 1,000 opportunities. So learn the language, learn the German language as much as possible and be able to communicate with it like professionally. So take it serious. Also do internships in your field while in school. Do not slack. Do not just think that, okay, I'm just going to study because I have fun. No, do internships and also join student organizations and volunteer, because all of those things are going to help increase your network with like people that can eventually help you when you get out of school in terms of finding jobs. Also, at this time, it is important to start early job hunting. Just start looking around, seeing what is available, what are the processes to apply, and what are the things that you can sort of do once you are done with school. And then in terms of like the processes itself, after graduation, you will have to, the good thing about Germany and this particular scholarship is that you are given 18 months after you have finished your studies in order to find a job. And I think that's amazing. Next, in Japan also allows students to be able to stay in Japan and find a job. And then you are going to have the job seeking visa while you do those processes. And then after that, you are going to apply for, you apply for your jobs, of course. And then you are going to get, what is it called? The EU Blue Card or the German Work Visa or Residence Permit for employment. So that is what you are going to eventually get when you apply and you get your work, okay? And something that you should also think about while you are in school is, do not only think about opportunities in Germany. You can at this time also start thinking about, oh, I want to move abroad. I want to move to some other countries. What are the pathways that I can go in order to do that? And the other thing that you can do is build an online audience because most times when you're able to build like an online audience, maybe based off a skill that you know or based off something that you know, by the time you're done with school, those opportunities will be coming to you. Like your online presence is practically like your resume in the world. And that is going to help you when you eventually leave school, because that is when you will need those things. You will need to leverage that in order to get opportunities. So do not just be this passive student who is just focused, studying. No, lift your head up and look at what are the things that I can do in order to better my life when I am done studying. Okay, I hope that this was helpful. I really took my time to research and prepare all of these things such that I can help you from the start of this particular scholarship application right through till you prepare for your life after graduation. So I hope that this was helpful. If it was helpful, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel. And in this video here, I teach you about what are the other ways that you can use in order to find scholarships after you have gotten admissions. There are are so many students who get admissions and they are stuck because they do not have funding. So watch this video and it is going to teach you what are the other strategies that you can do in order to find funding. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to see you all in the next one. Bye.